Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room as we repack my entire collection of overstock in reverse alphabetical order down here in this specially designed new Overflow room. It's going to take us like a year to get through all this stuff, I have a feeling, but we have to be done by a certain time because I think the old house is going to get sold, which means that my stuff has to be out. And we have to get it in here, so we're going to be moving it in. Oh, gosh. If we get through Tchaikovsky. This is the 7th video in the Tchaikovsky relay. And oh, boy, is there a lot of good stuff here. So let's get right to it, shall we? Konstantin Silvestri on BBC Music, the Tchaikovsky Little Russian, Symphony No. 2. This is coupled with all kinds of other juicy stuff. This is his Bournemouth legacy. You've got Elgar's Cockaigne and Symphony No. 1, and Arnold's Beckus the Dandy Pratt, and Tchaik 2, and Debussy's Je, and Britten's 4th C interludes, and Enescu's Romanian Rhapsody No. 1. Oh my God, it's all fabulous, juicy stuff. Yeah. And we've got Tchaikovsky on Chandos, classics. Oh, Jeffrey Simon. Remember, this was different. This was different. This is like like a budget reissue, I think, or mid-price. I think it's a mid-price reissue. Originally, this stuff came out in like different format packaging. This is the original version of Symphony No. 2 with quite different first movement, really considerably different. And the Serenade for Nikolai Rubinstein's Name Day, the Battle of Poltava, and the Cossack Dance from Mazeppa, and the original version of Romeo and Juliet. This was when they were doing original versions before all of that became au courant. It became like a thing to do all original versions and like ignore what the composer did better later. But this was fun to have. It was a find. It was really a find. Tchaikovsky Dances in Overture. This is a wonderful disc. This is with Theodore Kuchar. I did a separate video about this disc. It's all kinds of dances and overtures from the Queen of Spades, the Maid of Orleans, Mazeppa, the Enchantress, stuff you've never heard before. So it's delightful to have all this stuff. You have like more danse russes and the danse des Histrions, and then, delicious. Wonderful. Tchaikovsky, the Seasons and the Grand Sonata on Calliope, with Yakov Kazman, the 1997 Van Cliburn International Piano Competition silver medalist. Whoop-de-doo. This is a beautiful disc. And you get his big piano sonata, 33 minutes long. No one listens to that, it seems. It's a big work, fun work. Tchaikovsky did write some wonderful piano music. Don't let it go. Oh my goodness, this is also wonderful. Vadim Gluzman, fabulous violinist, the Bergen Phil, Andrew Litton, they're at the top of their game with the Glazunov Violin Concerto, which I just love. It doesn't get played very much because it's only 18 minutes long. So, you have to do like something else with it or something. It's a little short, but what a terrific piece. And the Souvenir de Lieu Cher, arranged by Glazunov, which is lovely, and the Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto. These are really good performances. Bis, fabulous sound, but the Glazunov, it just gets to me. It has such a great tune at the end. Oh, it's just great. Great. Tchaikovsky 6. Romeo and Juliet. Oh, God, how many of these do we need, right? This is Cincinnati Symphony, Paavo Järvi on Telarc. When he was doing all those cool Telarc things. This was later licensed and put in the Järvi's Cincinnati box, which we talked about. Remember that? But that was the original one. Here we have Tchaikovsky, the Complete Symphonies with Markevich and the LSO. Just the symphonies, none of the extra tone poems. This is on Newton Classics. It was licensed to Newton by Philips before anyone at Universal knew what they had. This is one of the great Tchaikovsky cycles ever. It's amazing. Amazing. And here it is. It was available for cost like $2 or something for all those discs. It was wonderful. Wonderful. Oh, those idiots at Universal, they never knew what they had or how to sell it, did they? Tchaikovsky Piano Concerto No. 1 with Nelson Freire and the Munich Phil under Rudolf Kempe. I love this Tchaik one. It's marvelous. And the Violin Concerto with Pinka Zuckerman, the LSO, and Antal Dorati. Look at that. Sony Odyssey. Remember that? The budget, super cheapy budget stuff? You could get such wonderful things for like no money back in the day. You still can, but Bronislaw Huberman, Lalo, Symphony Espagnole, and with the Staatskapelle Berlin. Oh, this is the Tchaikovsky, is with the Staatskapelle Berlin under William Steinberg. The Lalo in its four-movement version, which is fine with me, God knows, with the Vienna Phil under George Sell. And then the violin concerto, Canzonetta, and some Lalo stuff on piano with Paul Frankel. This is on Opus Cura. It's very historical. I have to touch it carefully. It's very historical. It may crumble in my fingers. This is the Tchaikovsky Complete Nutcracker with the Bergenfield and Nimi Yarvi. It's still in its plastic because no sooner did this show up than the box of all three ballets showed up, which I have sitting right back there. So, did I really need this to open it? No, I'm hanging on to it. Oh, Albert Coates, the world's fastest conductor. Albert Coates was Russian. And this is the Polish Symphony from 1932. Wow. Oh, baby. The Scherzo from the Manfred Symphony from 1932, Hamlet from 1932, and Romeo and Juliet from 1928 on Biddulph. Whoa, baby. It's so historical that it's practically unlistable. It's like opening an ancient papyrus, the musical equivalent thereof, of your ancient papyrus. Oh, and Tchaikovsky, Beecham. This is a lot of historical Tchaikovsky stuff here, isn't it? Beecham, Symphony No. 5, and Francesca da Rimini with the London Phil from 1939 and 1940. This is on Arcadia, which was a famous pirate label based in Italy. And they grabbed everything that they could that they thought was public domain and some things that maybe were not. And they released it. So there we go. We have more historical Tchaikovsky. Oh, yes. Well, let me put these. I can put at least two of these together. Okay. Mengelberg doing Tchaikovsky 5 and the Tannhäuser Overture, and Tchaikovsky 6 with a Vivaldi Concerto Grosso and the Bach air on a G string or something like that. This is all Opus Cura. These Mengelberg recordings sounded pretty dim, but, and he was completely nuts. So, it's kind of like Stokowski. He loved to play around. So you listen to it to hear him play. Some of the performances are very compelling, too, actually. He did have his moments. He was like the founder of the Concertgebouw. He was a great conductor in many ways, but also in his earlier days, he was pretty normal. As he got older and later, he got quirkier and weirder. So that's what happened. Tchaik 4, London Symphony, George Sell, the famous Sell Tchaik 4, which has now been released 30 billion different ways. And Francesca da Rimini with the new Phil and Lauren Mazel. This is quite exciting, Francesca, as I recall. It's a nice coupling. It was good to get that. And the Zell was not so easy to find when that was reissued. Remember, it came out originally on Decca, then it disappeared. And then, thank God, Australian Eloquence got a hold of it and recoupled it and released it, which is wonderful. Tchaikovsky, Concerto No. 1, and the Great Sonata with Valentina Kamenikova, and the Brno State Phil under Jerzy Pinkas on Superphone from 1970. Do not underestimate these people. Some of these Superphone recordings, the Superphone archive recordings, were really good. And Valentina Kamenikova was a terrific pianist. She really was. This is a beautiful performance. I still listen to it. I really do. It's quite wonderful. Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto, Brahms Violin Concerto, Nathan Milstein, Pittsburgh Symphony, William Steinberg, Philharmonia Orchestra, Anatole Fistulari. This is because it's Milstein. It's always great to have Milstein, and we desperately need a serious Milstein edition. We really did. We really do. Well put together by EMI. They're sitting on this stuff, and there's a lot there, and they need to release it. They need to release it. Are you listening, Warner people there? Then we've got, this is fun too. This is another budgie Seraphim Tchaikovsky, the 1812 Overture, Romeo and Juliet, Francesca da Rimini, and the March Slav. And they're all done by different people. They're by the Hollywood Bowl with Felix Slatkin, the Philharmonia with Markevich, Carlo Maria Giolini, he's doing Francesca. Let's see, Markevich is doing Romeo and Juliet. 1812 is Slatkin, and the March Slav is William Steinberg in Pittsburgh. It really is a wonderful assemblage. Of terrific conductors all on one disc. It's marvelously put together, right? Marvelously unavailable, but that's why I was keeping it. You can find it in various boxes and those performances and things, but still, it was great to have, and that's why I'm hanging on to it. So keep on listening, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.